Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven. I created and uploaded a video to my channel about air quality monitors. The response that I've gotten has been incredible. Comments, questions, thoughts. I do my best to answer, to reply to every single person that comments. I did get a question from a guy who lives in Ukraine. He had mentioned that he was thinking about getting the Timtop M10 that I recommended, but it was a bit more than he really could afford to spend. He had found a monitor on Aliexpress, and I'll be right back because I want to show you what he wanted me to take a look at. And it was this monitor. Whoops, I guess I got to put you over there. Okay, now this thing really should be calibrated, but I will walk you through the best way I think is to calibrate any monitor, really, not just this one. Okay, it does data monitoring. You can set it for how long you want it to record and then go back and review to see if there's any spikes or anything. So that's pretty cool. Awesome feature. It has a formaldehyde sensor, a temperature and humidity sensor in one, an alarm, buzzer, TVOC sensor, fan, and a laser to pick up particles. We are going to be checking that. When Nikolai Kolodachka wrote me about this device, he said, could you go look at this for me and research it and let me know if you can recommend this to me? Because this is a lot more affordable. There's cheap and then there's inexpensive. I like inexpensive way better than I like cheap. So anyway, I went and I looked at this on AliExpress, and then I found a video that was in Russian. The only video I could find on YouTube, and now there should be two, hopefully mine. I just basically watched the guy talk about this monitor that he wanted me to look at. And this guy actually took it apart. I wrote Nikolai back. I can't recommend anything unless I've actually touched it, tested it, compared it, and ultimately tore it down to see what inside is what they say is inside. So I said, unfortunately, I can't recommend it because I'd feel bad if I did recommend it. And then he spent the money and then something happened and it was inaccurate. It was fake. They were just showing you fake images. I bought it anyhow. Nikolai Kolodachka, absolutely incredible, just absolutely incredible person. During our conversation back and forth, YouTube wasn't allowing him to put a link to this device on AliExpress. Then we started conversing through email, talking back and forth, and it's just wonderful person Nikolai is. The way he talks about his dad is just amazing. He's concerned for his dad. That's why he's looking for a monitor, and he needs one that works, something that he can afford. One of his biggest concerns is that they get bombs dropping over there and the ground shakes, the house shakes, and he's concerned that, throwing dust and everything around, he wants to know the quality of air in the house so he can try different techniques to alleviate that. This is for anyone who needs an inexpensive monitor and wants to know which one that they can get, that they can buy. I just got it in the mail. Let's get right to it. Let's take a look at this monitor and the others that I have set up to compare it to. Okay, this here is the monitor on AliExpress, and it does formaldehyde, which is there, HCHO, TVOC, total volatile organic compound, particle 2.5, particle 1.0, and particle 10. Now, this particle 2.5 over here is at 4. This one's at 3. Particle 10 over here is at 4. This one is at 3. So the particles are pretty good. Formaldehyde is at 38.94. TVOC 0.27. 0.39, so that's pretty close. Okay, now this one here, the particle 2.5 is at 4, 3, 5. Particle 1.0 is 3 on this, and 3 on this, and 4 on that one. Particle 10, particle 1.0 is 2, and 2. Particle 10 is 6, 3, and 5. This one here says TVOC is at 17, 29, 39. So really not that bad. Formaldehyde is 40 on this, formaldehyde 37, formaldehyde 94, and this one doesn't do formaldehyde. The particles is 3 on this one, 4, 3, and 3. So the particles are pretty much all staying the same. I want to do a little test, a smoke test, so we can get these numbers to go nutty, and then how long it takes, or see how quickly they come back down. Okay, so now we're going to do a smoke test to see how they act when the numbers start going up, if they all stay closer together. Yeah, because formaldehyde, TVOC, particles, they'll all go up. They'll all start going up. And they're going up. I'll be right back. Let's see if that's good. Okay, it's been about, I would say, 5 minutes. I turned my air purifier on high and it still hasn't come down to where I like to see it, but that's what happens when you get smoke in your room. It takes a while to get all the particles out. I have a Levoit Core 300S. It takes a while to get it out of your house. But the numbers, this one is 32, that one is 43, this one is 40, this one is 20. So I'm not going to say it's that much off to make a big difference. Some sensors are just more sensitive than others. Could be also the way they're programmed. TVOC is 55, 56. This one is 45. This one doesn't have TVOC. They are still pretty close. TVOC, this one is 19. Air quality is 78, 58, 30, and 50 on this one. And this one's saying good quality. This one's saying good. This one is saying poor. But there is a feature of this that I really, really like. And we're going to start looking at that now, because I think we've seen these enough to compare them. This is what I'm going to say, though. I really believe that when I open this up, I'm going to find exactly inside what the picture shows. That there is 3 sensors in here, which gives 4 different readings. This is the M10. The C10 does CO2. That's why I didn't bring that out for this video, because none of these have CO2. Only the C10 that I have. But the C10 also does temperature and humidity. They were pretty accurate together. I have a humidity up there says 26. This says 24. And then my one over there says 25. So that's pretty cool. So that's working pretty well. Now it has a real-time function in it, and you'd press the A button because you have your menu options here for real-time RT and recording your data, calibrating the unit, and setting the unit settings. And that corresponds with A, B, C, or D. Real-time is A, and I think what we're going to do, instead of continuing this right here with this camera, I think I'm going to move to the overhead camera, go to my bench camera, and do the rest of this video. Okay. Let's bring this zoom in more. So now you can see everything better, hopefully. Okay, now A, B, C, D. These buttons correspond with the menu options up here. RT stands for real-time monitoring. This is record, so you can record a history that you can review on a data chart. This is the calibration to calibrate the unit, and this is the set for the settings. This is what I recommend, because I believe that Nikolai also asked me if he would need to calibrate it. And yes, you do. It's so important to calibrate any of the monitors that you buy, especially in the beginning, as soon as you get them in the mail, because for several reasons. These devices go through a lot of different air quality situations, smoky, probably diesel fumes, and all kinds of areas that they get into during transport, especially when they're coming from China. Even though these are all in boxes, and still there's certain things that can get inside. So what I recommend to anybody to do, I would take them out of the packaging when you first buy them. Leave them off and put them in fresh air for a day or half a day, 3 or 4 hours. Then go through the calibration of each unit that it specifies. Now, some won't say that it needs to be calibrated in the manual, but you can do a self-calibration. And that self-calibration is just to leave it into fresh air that you know to be fresh, and just leave it there. Go to the store, go out, whatever you got to do. Leave it there for, if you can, for a day. Just leave it out in the fresh air for a day so it can get inside. Oxygen can get in through all of this and kind of clean it. But then if the manual says it has a calibration function, then follow the calibration procedure in the manual after that. To calibrate this one, do the same thing like the manual calibration, which is to take it out of the package, leave it in a fresh area for 3 or 4 or 5 hours or whatever you can do, and then go through the calibration. The calibration on this would be the C button, and then when you press the C button, it tells you what to do, which is, once you start it, which would be the A button, the A, that starts the calibration. Take it outside in fresh air and leave it for 300 seconds. And then when you come back, then I believe this back here says finish after the countdown. It'll count down 300 seconds and then it'll finish. And then you press the D key right here to finish the calibration. Okay, now the real time, if we press the A button for real time, okay, now it comes up with new options. We're going to keep... Oh, I did have to get a phone call, didn't I? All right, where were we at? I don't even remember where we were at. All right, now you would hit the A button to go into just reviewing formaldehyde, the formaldehyde chart. Now, you can start recording some history. So you could go back and review the spikes or whatever there may be. Right here is the level at this line here. And then if all of a sudden the levels started raising, then you'd get that step up and down and the heartbeat kind of thing going on. A would start it, B would stop it, C is for to make it go faster, and then D would be for if you want it to go slower. Wow, that is really slow. I like the quick. Actually, I would like to sort of be a fast motion so it goes even faster. But anyway, that's that. All right, now in order to go back to where we were just at, just press the escape button right here. And now we're back to where we were. If we want to see a scale on temperature, that would be the B button underneath of temp. And that would give another chart for the temperature. Temperature is, I wish this did the Fahrenheit, because I've been through all the settings and I don't see any information on setting the Celsius to Fahrenheit, which really sucks. I really don't like that. And then just do escape to go back. If you want to see just total volatile organic compound, TVOC, then that is underneath the C button. Press C, that brings up that chart. Then you could start recording and then let it record. Then hit the stop button. And the last one is particle matter 2.5, just above the D button. Press that. That brings you up for the particle chart. I'm assuming that it doesn't do 10 or 1 on the chart. Okay, and then to go back, hit the escape button. Then to go back again, you just hit the escape button again to keep going back. And then you're back to the main screen. Okay, now record is just above the B button. So go press B for record options. Record gap 5 seconds, record number 50. So I'm thinking 5 seconds, 5 second, record gap 5 seconds. So that might mean, let's see, what would that mean? 5 seconds. Okay, let me say it this way. If you had this, can you set this down to 1? No, you can't. Now if we do 5 seconds, 5 second length, and we do that 50 times, so that would be right. Okay, so that must be how it works. This is the interval, a 5 second interval of the recording. And then this is how many of those you want. So 50, it says 50. So it'd be 5 seconds, 50 times. So that would be 4 minutes, 10 seconds or recording. Okay, now if we change this number up here, we hit the up button, the up arrow, and there appears a little line around what needs to be changed. So if you hit the down arrow, then the line appears around this, so it's showing that it can be changed. And in order to change this, hit the arrow over to go up and down. Okay, but let's go back up here for a record gap of, say, let's say 10 seconds. Because it comes in increments of 5. If I move it over to 10, that means a 10-second clip, and it's set on 50, that would be 50 times. So 10 seconds, 50 times. Well, it should be double then of the last one. So 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, 8 minutes. And then the escape to go back. Calibrate. We went through the calibration and then the settings. Go into settings. And this is where I was hoping to find being able to turn the temperature to read Fahrenheit, but I don't see anything. Use the up and down arrows to scroll through. And then when you highlight what you want to change, press the OK button, and then use the arrows to select whatever you need to, and then select OK to accept the change. You see screen, all shut down, work speed, brightness, factory set. Now there's other options on this screen. A for sensor. Now this is where you can calibrate this. Let's come back to that. Time, you can go in and set the date and time. Multiple, you can go into here, select. This information is in the manual that comes with this, all this information. I haven't really had a chance to go into this. This is also a calibrate. If you highlight this and press OK, then it does the same thing as going through to this from the other option. It just brings you up to the calibration screen. Then you press the A to start the calibration. Put it outside in a fresh air for the 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. And then this back option will turn into, say, finish. And then you hit the D key to finish it and go out of that. And then alarm, you can go into that, and that allows you to set when your alarm comes on, at what level you want the alarm to start alarming. So there, nothing. There isn't anything in here for changing this to Fahrenheit. And for me, that sucks. None of my monitors, I even look at the temperature anyway. So that's no big deal to me. Okay, if you want to adjust the calibration of the numbers, go D for set, and then A for sensor, and then that brings up your sensors that you can change. Formaldehyde bias, temperature bias, particle matter 2.5, or that's the bias, and then the calibration. So that's it. Nothing about TVOC. Yeah, so evidently you can't change TVOC. And then once you've made your changes, the C button will be for the save. That's how you save your setting. And then if you get into here, just decide not to do anything at all, then the D button will be for back, to go backwards. And then remember, if you're in this screen, the A button will be for calibrating the device. So when you first get this, take it outside or in fresh air, and just leave it set there out of the box. I had mine on, so yeah, you can turn it on, plug it into a power source, and just let it sit there for 3, 4, 5 hours if you want, or all day. The longer the better that you leave it in fresh air initially. That's what I call a manual calibration. And then after that, do the calibration per the manufacturer. When you first turn it on, it comes up to this screen right here. If you want to calibrate it, just hit C for calibrate, and then A to start it. It lasts for 5 minutes. After it's finished, where it says back here, it will change to say finish here. And then just press the D button to finish it. And then it'll take you back to this screen. And then you'll be calibrated. Oh, and one thing I forgot to show you. The on-off button right there. So let's turn it off. And then we got to do what I promised. We got to take this apart. Because Nikolai was thinking, Steve, are you going to take it apart? I thought you was going to take it apart. Yes, I'm going to take it apart. Because I just forgot that I was going to take it apart. I need a longer bit. Oh, that's perfect size right there. All right, let's get this apart and see what is inside. Okay, see how easy. Oh, it looks very easy. Oh, and there's an 18650 battery in there. That's beautiful. I love that. It doesn't have a polymer battery in it. It has an 18650. So that means, yes, that means that you could actually replace this with a much larger 18650, more power. For as long as this lasted today on battery power, I don't think it's a very big battery. Maybe 1100 milliamp, I'm guessing. All right, here we go. There is the particle sensor, formaldehyde sensor. Oh. Well, how lovely is that? Okay. So I wanted to look at this. Oh. Boy, don't I feel like an idiot. That's the on-off button. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad I didn't say what I was thinking it was, which was a TVOC sensor, because somebody would have come and said, no, it's not. That's the charge port. Now I got to see if I can get this back together. This here, temperature and humidity. I've never seen a temperature and humidity one like that one before, but that's why I wanted to be sure before I called out, making myself look like an idiot, just saying, oh, I know what that is. All right, so let's get that back in where it belongs. So the particle sensor is on top inside this box, metal box. And the TVOC is down inside in there. And that's the fan, which brings in the air. And TVOC gets read. And then the laser picks up, as there's little tunnels in here. And the air travels through it, and the laser picks up the particles. So it has all the sensors that it claims to have. All right, so let's get this back together. And then finish up the video. All right, so that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I wanted to see whether or not the device was legitimate. And my conclusion is, obviously, yes, it is legitimate. It has the sensors that it says it has. Now, the readings could be different for you. And the reason that I say that is because today, it's weird, today I've been building a little test box. So using glues and stuff. So I think that's why my numbers were a little nutty, more than they actually were before or ever have been in here. Glue fumes and stuff are still hanging around in here. So I think that's what was messing with the readings. So Nikolai Kolodachka, I'm saying definitely 100% I can recommend this device. I have like 4 or 5 that I can recommend now. Devices. Some people say accuracy. You know what? I don't know. Not anybody knows. Unless they have like a $2,000 or $3,000 device. The only thing we can do is guess. Okay? The Tim Top, the Hofun, the Hot Crim, and now this one is staying right around where these scientific communities say normal numbers are to be, where they should be in a home. The only thing it was a little weird was the TVOC. I'm not even going to mess with the calibration on this. If I were to calibrate it, I would take an average reading of all of them and then use that to calibrate this one. Here's the thing. How accurate do you need to be? As long as it's not saying, like that fake Chinese one that I tore down, that one there was saying that I'm going to die when my air was perfect. And then in other situations, I would have died if I would have relied on that to give me an accurate reading, because it was saying, Steve, everything's fine. I would have been dead within 5 minutes in actual reality. So this one is not doing that. Absolutely 100% not doing it. This giving you good readings. Okay. Yep. It might be a little bit off on the TVOC with my other monitors, but it's not enough to say that is not a good information. As long as it's close is all you need. Really, truly, that's all you need. So how accurate do you really need one to be? What you're looking for is for you to get a general idea of air quality. Carbon monoxide detector, if you had one, if you decided to buy one. That's, to me, the 2 main monitors to have would be a carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Okay? And if you wanted that third one, use a particle meter for smoky areas. Nikolai, do I recommend this? 100%. Yes, definitely 100% yes. What I love about this, it's not very often you can find one of these monitors. You can actually go in and manually adjust the calibration. And I love that. There's a lot of people that need a good device that doesn't cost a whole lot of money. So this is one of those. I have actually seen fake, did I say fake? I've seen fake monitors that cost $70. And I just saw one the other day that's over $100 for a fake one that has one sensor in it. That's a fake, over $100. You know what? Now I'm going to say it doesn't matter what it costs. Do your research. See if you can find out if it's legitimate. Okay? I'm not the only one that does this. Now I'm the only one I think has done this, except that other than that Russian guy. And I don't think anybody else has ever made this video. So now there's an English guy that's making this video. So yes, this is a good monitor. So the sensors might not be the best, but you're not going to get the best for $45. You're just not. Thank you so much, Nikolai, for getting in touch with me and commenting on that video and asking me to look into this. This is what it says it is. I hope this has helped in making your decision to get a low-cost monitor that works and gives decent, good information. Anybody watching this right now, I just ask that just say a prayer. Please, 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 people, I'm asking, please say a prayer for Nikolai Kolodachka and his father, that God keeps them safe. Hearing him talk about bombs falling and the ground and the house shaking, I don't know if surreal is the right word, but I mean, you know what? It's just, I can't even imagine. Like I told him, I said, the only way that I can think of that would even come close, would even start to come close, is that I love thunderstorms. And the bigger the storm, the better I like it. I like the big booms and the shaking the ground. I really, truly love those kind of thunderstorms. When I was a kid, myself and my brothers, we loved the biggest thunderstorm. It could come around and shake everything. But see, that's different though. That is God entertaining us. But what's happening over there with Nikolai and his father and so many innocent people is a destruction of man. And I pray and ask for God's help. Keep them safe from harm. So yeah, I ask everyone to pray with me for Nikolai Kolodachka, his father, and all of everyone in Ukraine. Keep them safe. Amen. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Find somebody that needs a hug, needs to laugh, needs to cry on your shoulder, needs to giggle, and make it happen. Life is too short to be worried about what we cannot control. God bless each and every one, and I will see you in the next one.